Water cleaning may leave harmful bacteria, viruses, and mold that can make you sick. That alone will keep you up at night. Until now, SoClean.com is the world's first and only automated, hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. SoClean kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs without soap, water, harsh chemicals, or even equipment disassembly. And now, you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Call 800-768-0158.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean's revolutionary design makes it easy to clean your CPAP and protect you against CPAP-related illnesses. Plus, popular CPAP devices to clean. 0158, 800-768-0158.
South Korean President Moon Jae-in's patient personality may make him the perfect person to go between the United States and North Korea after the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. Nami Lee, who knows the South Korean leader, said President Moon is in a unique position to be an intermediary between Kim Jong-un and President Donald Trump, or between Kim and Shinzo Abe. Moon has been calling for formal talks between the North since July of last year. Ethiopia declared a state of emergency on Friday, citing a wave of anti-government protests just one day after Prime Minister Hailemariam Desalegn abruptly resigned. The state of emergency went into effect on Friday, but the council did not reveal how long it would last. Hundreds of people have died in 3 years of anti-government protests centered around Ethiopia's two largest regions, Oromia and Amhara. This is USA Radio News.
In theaters now, from PureFlix.
Samson, chosen by the living God.
A hero will rise.
He has the strength of a god. I saw it with my own eyes.
My name is Samson, and you will face the wrath of God.
Samson. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Now playing. For tickets and information, go to samson.movie.
A transgender woman has become the first recorded to successfully breastfeed her baby, according to the Washington Post, citing a study published last month in Transgender Health. The 30-year-old said she decided to breastfeed her baby before it was born. Her partner was the one that was pregnant with the baby, but couldn't breastfeed. According to the study, the woman underwent a 3.5-month treatment that included a drug to stimulate lactation and hormone therapy to suppress testosterone. Tamar Reisman, who co-authored the study, said this is important because it proves that functional lactation, breastfeeding that provides nutrition, can now be produced in transgender women. Senator Marco Rubio issued a dire warning to America concerning what others may be thinking following the Florida school shootings. John Clemens reports.
Law enforcement agencies all across the country increased patrols in and around schools after the shootings in Parkland, Florida. During a speech from Capitol Hill, Senator Marco Rubio said some may be impacted a different way by what happened on Wednesday.
It is a high probability, if not certainty, that somewhere in America right now, some equally troubled and deranged violent individual is reading and watching coverage of this attack and gaining from it not sorrow but inspiration.
I'm John Clemens.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-607-8945. That's 1-800-607-8945. Again, 1-800-607-8945. 888-848-9445.
Welcome to the Garden America Radio Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do in the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or send us your questions and comments to john@gardenamerica.com. Now, here's Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on Biz Talk Radio and the Garden America Radio Network.
And a good Saturday morning. It is 6 minutes after the hour. This is Garden America. And yes, this is a gardening show. Welcome, one and all. I'm Bryan, Maine, along with John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. Welcoming all of you tuned in on Facebook Live, watching us. The camera's right there. Those of you on Biz Talk Radio. Those in San Diego, listening on AM 1240. And again, you can also hear the replay of this show this afternoon, John, in Los Angeles, Santa Barbara, most of Southern California, from AM 740, the 50,000-watt giant covering Southern California. How about that?
That's right. Yeah, if you're not listening now, you can listen it too.
And if you're listening and it's this afternoon between 2 and 3, then you're hearing a replay. Are you confused?
There's so much going on right now.
So much happening. Tiger's back after last week. Your daughter had a softball game, right?
Yeah, opening day, the Jalapeno Poppers.
Is that the
That's
their
their team name, yeah.
Jalapeno Poppers.
Yeah.
Did they win?
No.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it was a tough loss. I mean, the girls are actually really good, and it was just one of those games that they couldn't work together. And so I think it was just the first game jitters, but I think we got out of our way, and now we're on to the next game this afternoon. We have a noon game, so getting ready for that.
And I have a 1 o'clock basketball game.
Yeah.
The Aztecs take on UNLV, so I'll be well, actually, I'm dressed for it already. That's why I got dressed up this morning. So go home, pick up Dana.
Your bowling shirt. I wasn't sure.
The Aztecs bowling team.
Bowling team, yeah. Well, actually, it's a football shirt because it's got this football stitching right there. So it's Aztec football shirt.
Is that how you identify your shirts? You put the stitching of the balls?
Exactly, so I know what sport I'm doing. But I'm doing basketball today, so that makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are back for the next couple of hours. Questions, comments, you can post them right there on Facebook or email john@gardenamerica.com. Or you can give us a call. And I think Jeremiah is our board up this morning. He'll take your phone calls and put you through.
Get us in touch, be able to talk about our early spring. Now I'm not super current.
Depends on where you are, Tiger.
Well, but even so, did you see Florida? The Southeast is having spring weather as well this weekend. They're warming abnormally up this weekend, all the way through Louisiana, Florida, and the Southeast. So it's not just us.
Well, Florida would be
early spring.
Florida would be normally warmer, depending upon what part of the state.
But normally warmer, but we're talking earlier than normal now.
Okay,
too.
It is the middle of February, so you're right.
Exactly. So there's a lot of places having some early spring, but then you go to the north and they're still under tundra.
It's much colder than normal. But people are still planting their vegetable gardens. We're getting a lot of orders for grafted vegetables. For people up in the northern area. We got several orders from Rhode Island, which kind of surprised me.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know we were that big in Rhode Island.
Well, Rhode Island's not that big.
It's such a small state.
Right.
So what are people, you're speaking about the things that we offer
Tiger always
on our website.
asks me, what's the number one seller?
Yeah, what are we selling on our website, John? What's flying out the door?
Nothing's flying, Brian. Okay. Everything is
gently packaged.
Right, gently packaged and shipped.
Okay.
But we don't start shipping until March 16th is our first order. And then we've got orders all the way up till May 14th.
And what can one purchase?
But the number one seller in the grafted tomatoes is San Marzano Redorta.
Ah, the French actress or the Italian actress from the 40s, right?
No, San Marzano is a paste-type tomato.
Okay.
And there's a few different varieties of San Marzanos, and Redorta comes from the Redorta mountain region in Tuscany. I think it's Tuscany. And the difference between that and other San Marzanos is that it tastes good fresh. Most paste tomatoes are too dry to eat fresh, so they're used just for cooking or canning. But San Marzano Redorta can be used either way.
Don't tell me, tell them.
I'm telling you. I want you to pay attention.
Okay. And I'll tell them, right.
And then the other thing Tiger and I were talking about is the super dwarf tomatoes. Everybody just seems to be really excited about those because you can grow them in containers and you can get a great tomato crop. Or if you've got a garden that's maybe not that big, you don't have that much room, you can plant them in the ground, but they won't take up as much space.
And, I think the biggest thing when it comes to gardening right now is that we're all becoming, no matter where you're at, a little bit more urban. And when it comes to gardening, most people are doing them on a small patio,
a lot of people
porch, whatever it may be. And these are great producers for that area.
I'm one of those.
Exactly. So,
well, we've talked before that the fastest growing segment of the gardening community is male millennials.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing just what you're saying. They've got patios that they're starting to grow. And it's mostly edibles that they start out being interested in.
This is interesting research that you're giving us, John.
Well, they'll grow herbs or things they can use in cooking.
Yeah.
Millennials, for some reason, love cooking. The cooking shows are really popular.
I think that we love the idea of cooking, and we want to do everything around it, but we're not really good at it. So
well, you don't have to be good at it. You just have to like doing
now,
it.
I've always said, if you can read, you can cook.
Yeah.
You got a cookbook in front of you, just read it and cook it.
I think that's true. I think that's probably true, but then to cook well is another step.
Well, I think after a while, once you think you're getting pretty good at it, then you add your own little style to it.
Yeah.
Well, it says a pinch of salt. I'm going to give it 2 pinches of salt. Things like that.
Yeah.
So everyone had a good week. John, you kept busy. Again, you're maintaining that nice tan, so you're getting as much relaxation as you are working outside in your garden. What is new in the John Bagnasco garden these days?
I was thinking of you because I have a pot of butterfly amaryllis.
Who doesn't think of me when you think of butterfly amaryllis?
Yep. Well, I'm thinking of you because I think I've got to divide them and give you part of them.
Don't you have to conquer first?
They've been conquered. I went to move the pot yesterday, though, because I would say that, I started with one bulb, put it in a pot, and kept transplanting it. And now in that pot, there's probably 30 bulbs.
Wow.
And they're all coming up with bloom spikes. And I went to move it to put it out on the patio so that when they come into bloom, we could see it, but the rim broke on the pot.
Oh, I've had that happen. I've got one pot right now where I've got that problem.
So now it's sitting there, but it's got to be transplanted. And I don't know if I should just put some in the ground or what I should do.
So much to think about, John.
There is. There's a lot to do.
Hey,
the thing I don't have to think about is pulling weeds, because that's just a given. I've got to go out there every day. It's so hard to keep up with the weeds this time of year.
And what are you using? Just the good old-fashioned pull them out with your hand by the roots?
I'm using a Cape Cod hoe. That's that is my favorite weeding tool.
Okay.
It's a single prong weeder, handheld, and I get on my kneeling bench and use the hoe, and even Bermuda grass comes out by the roots. So.
Are we still offering those kneeling benches on our website?
No.
We used to.
Yeah.
Okay. No more kneeling benches on the website.
No, I finally wore mine out, but then Sharon Asakawa gave me one that she wasn't going to use anymore.
That's nice. Very nice of her.
Yeah, so I have that one. And then I have a lightweight one that my son got me for Christmas a couple years ago.
Want to remind people watching us on Facebook, you can put your questions or pose your questions, comments right there on Facebook. We will be sure to monitor them during the show, answer you as quickly as possible. I know we're going to take a break in a couple of minutes, and when we come back, Tom Spellman's going to be with us, John. We've had Tom on many times over the years, talking about, what do you think? Fruit, right?
Fruit trees, right. Hey, you want me to do the quote of the week? Do we have time?
We have plenty of time, absolutely.
Okay, the quote of the week is, it just really made me think of my life and how I approach gardening. And it says, success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you will be successful.
It's very true.
Albert Schweitzer.
It's like getting a job. If you love what you do, you'll never work, right?
That's exactly right.
Or what is the other Chinese proverb where you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime? You've heard that.
Yes, I have.
Okay. I was going to say, the moment of silence there. You're
waiting. He looked at him with a questioning look.
Waiting for something else. Okay, Mission Hills Nursery, Tiger, what are you offering right now that people can buy, take home, and plant and be successful this time of year?
So Right now, we're kind of just breaking into the season. You know, one of the things it's exciting to plant right now is the fruit trees, like we're talking about.
Right.
Roses, lots and lots of varieties of roses.
The seeds that I'm going to be
getting from you.
Did
you guys get in Rosie the Riveter?
Did we get in Rosie the Riveter? You know what? I don't know.
Rosie the Riveter.
Right.
Yeah. Is that a new one?
You all know what Rosie the Riveter is, right?
Well, it's a new rose for this year.
Very good.
From Weeks Roses.
So probably if it's one of the new selections, we probably got it in for sure.
So what you're telling me is you don't know every rose you carry?
I don't know any rose I carry. I'm spending very little time at the nursery these days.
Okay, we're going to take a break. Come back with our guest, Tom Spellman. If you have questions for Tom, you can put them on Facebook. You can also give us a call, 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Jeremiah will get you on the air with us. Or John at GardenAmerica.com. Happy Saturday. Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. I'm Bryan Main. This is Garden America. Taking a break. Coming right back.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Do you have a small yard and think you don't have the room for fruit trees? Well, think again. Dave Wilson Nursery wants to show you how to grow great-tasting fruits like peaches, apples, pluots, and much more in small areas, even in patio containers, too. It's called Backyard Orchard Culture. You get step-by-step information via the Fruit Tube videos at DaveWilson.com. That's where you'll find the closest nursery to you that carries Dave Wilson's quality fruit trees. Start the backyard orchard of your dreams at DaveWilson.com.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-711-6812 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-711-6812. Again, that's 800-711-6812.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
888-785-0618. 888-785-0618. 888-785-0618. That's 888-785-0618.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-605-5370. 800-605-5370. Call 800-605-5370.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
It is Garden America, 21 minutes after the hour. This is live radio unless you're listening to us between 2 and 3 this afternoon on AM 740. Then it's pre-recorded, but thank you so much. Again, live on AM 1240 here in San Diego. Viewers on Facebook Live, 855-424-9825. Questions on Facebook or John at gardenamerica.com. And now it's time to talk fruit trees.
Real quick before you were talking about live radio and all the options to listen live and then not. But then right before our show, we were listening to the show and they were talking about something that was like, go Broncos.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, how long ago was that program taped?
Was that show on prior to our show on Biz Talk Radio, Go Broncos.
That was
so
funny.
we'll try to keep it current. So,
yeah.
Anyway, so Tom Spellman is waiting.
Tom, good morning. How are you doing? This is Tiger.
And welcome. Glad to be here with you.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. Thank you for joining us. Super excited because as John and I were talking before we started the show about how we're kind of in an early spring movement right now, there's a lot of things that people need to start doing when it comes to their fruit trees and a lot of things that people need to watch out for when it comes to the fruit trees right now. And I know that we're going to cover those things. But first off, before we get into that, I want to make sure our listeners know about Dave Wilson Fruit Trees and about you and what you do there. So will you give a brief introduction of what you guys are working on at Dave Wilson?
Well, Dave Wilson Nursery is one of the largest fruit and nut trees in the United States. We grow material for commercial agriculture, farmers, and we also grow material for backyard growers that's sold through wholesale and retail nurseries. So, we produce a real diverse selection of material, both for agriculture and for home growers, with different things in mind. Agriculture, of course, is looking for, lots of fruit at one time so they can get their harvest in and get their crop to market, where backyard growers are looking for successive ripening varieties so they can have a little bit of fruit all the time instead of a lot of fruit at any one given time. So, we're always looking to introduce new varieties that are season extenders, early varieties or late varieties, so that they can incorporate those into multiple plantings and harvest throughout the season.
And then, one of the other things that I think Dave Wilson is specialized in as well is the flavor and the flavor combinations. During the last time we had you on the show, you guys have a fruit tree that was a cross between what was it, John?
It was the cherry cross, yeah.
What was it?
Cherry plum.
A cherry plum, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, those are incredible.
Yeah, so not only is it, successive ripening seasons, but also flavor and varietals that are kind of unique and different. So a lot of fun stuff going on over there. We are in an early spring. I'm sure you guys are also witnessing that up where you're at, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Even in the Northern California Sierra foothills up there, spring is truly a month to 6 weeks early. So, we're getting substantial bloom already on early varieties, and it's almost time to get in there and do some thinning. I was actually looking at my Desert Dawn Nectarine and my May Pride Peach this morning, and started to do some thinning work on both of those. There's pea-sized fruit that's well developed at this point. The flowers are 75% gone, so the earlier you can thin, the better your fruit quality is later, and the larger your fruit is later when it's harvestable.
Hey, Tom, I had a question from a listener during the week that I wondered maybe you could expound on a little bit. They had gone to a garden center, and the garden center had put the fruit trees into containers, the bare root fruit trees, and they were all leafed out, and they took it home, and they said when they went to transplant it, all the dirt fell away from the roots, and the leaves all wilted, and they wondered if the tree would still be okay. And I was wondering, first of all, will the tree be fine? And second of all, what should you do if you're at a garden center and you bring home a tree that had just recently been put up in a 5-gallon container?
Well, first of all, a tree that wilts like that is just going through simple transplant shock. It has a root system that's starting to redevelop in the container, and as the soil fell away, that root system was damaged. So making sure that they're pruning back the structure into balance with the root system will help that tree to survive. And if I'm buying trees this time of year that are in containers and I know they're freshly planted bare root material, I'm not going to try and pull that tree out of the container. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-dig my hole, make sure that the depth matches the soil depth in the container. I'm going to cut the bottom off the container. I'm going to set the tree down into the hole with the side of the container still attached. And then I'm going to make one cut up the side of the container and pull the container away. So that's a good idea. That kind of eliminates that soil completely falling away, and then you can even pre-backfill around the sides of the root bulb before you pull that sleeve out, and that makes all the difference in the world if you're transplanting material that isn't fully rooted into the containers yet.
That's a good idea. And before John asked this question, you were talking about thinning. Now, we're talking thinning of the fruit, correct?
Correct, yeah, thinning of the fruit. And, for your Midwest and East Coast listeners, this isn't even a concern yet. They're still in the middle of winter back there, and things are going to bloom for a while. But out here on the West Coast, we're getting bloom that's noticeably earlier than we would normally have it. So,
hey, now, Tom, I'm sorry, we're getting all this bloom because of the weather and the sunshine and the temperatures, obviously, kind of a preview of spring. But what happens, though? We get a cold snap between now and, say, March or April.
Well, we could definitely have some damage to the young foliage and the young fruit. But typically, on the West Coast after February 15th, we don't have much damaging frost anymore. Our damaging frosts are normally right around the shortest days, late December and early January. But we definitely could still have a late frost that could do some damage to young fruit or young foliage. So if that's the case, and you have small trees, another reason for maintaining a manageable size through backyard orchard culture, you can easily throw a bed sheet or a tarp or some Tyvek or something over the tree and protect it from that late frost.
And aside from the warm seasons that we're having to push this weather, we haven't had any rain. What do you recommend for people when it comes to watering of their trees right now?
Well, typically myself, from about November 1st until usually about April 1st, if it's a normal year, we're getting normal amounts of rainfall, I won't irrigate at all. But this year, I think I irrigated twice in November, and I irrigated twice in December, and I irrigated at least once in January. So I've irrigated 5 times through the winter when I normally wouldn't irrigate at all. Hey, so we just have to think, for those timer systems that are either shut off or not running, and we're the ones that need to make the decision as to when we need to irrigate.
I'm sorry, we got to take a break. We're up against the clock. Got to take a break. Stay with us, Tom. We are coming right back.
For nearly 100 years, folks have trusted Blue Star medicated ointment to relieve the pain and itching of almost any skin irritation.
It works on my son's dry, itching feet and their jock itch.
I had this rash on my neck. Nothing worked until Blue Star.
Blue Star worked great on my ringworm without steroids.
My wife and I have been using Blue Star for years. It's never let us down.
Look for the white box with the Blue Star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast, or your money back.
Have you heard about Biz TV? Biz TV is the home for America's entrepreneurs, small businesses, and those who want to succeed in life. It's the only national television network committed to airing original, high-quality, educational, and inspirational programming about real business people. Biz TV can provide the right kind of ideas, motivation, and education to help fuel the next generation of business owners. Visit biztv.com and call your satellite or cable service provider to request Biz TV.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If you're making the minimum payments, but your balance is just not going down, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it will take years to get out of debt, call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 5 million people with credit card debt. They can consolidate your debts into one lower payment, reduce your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. If you're struggling with credit card debt, the first step is yours. Call Consolidated Credit now. Call 800-350-3241. 800-350-3241. That's 800-350-3241. Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 19, Oregon DM 80031. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission. License number DC 32.
Due to an upturn in the economy, Main Street Business Loans has pre-approved the release of millions of dollars in small business funding. Your business may already be pre-approved to receive up to $250,000. We've sent out millions of pre-approval letters. We see the economy growing, and our underwriters believe now is the time to invest in your business so you can grow faster and make more money. And we're prepared to give you up to $250,000 to do it. Your funds can be available in 5 days. There are no application fees, no annual fees, just quick access to up to $250,000. If your business did not receive your approval letter to get up to $250,000, call Main Street Business Loans Approval Desk now.
800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. That's 800-430-7570.
There's no question you need omega-3s. But which form should you take? Fish oil or krill oil? Scientists have debated this for years. Luckily, there's a new solution to satisfy everyone. It's called Krill Omega 50 Plus. It combines ultra-pure fish oil and joint-soothing krill oil together in just one tiny pill. It's so powerful, it can promote the health of your heart and your arteries. And if that wasn't enough, it can also boost your joint comfort in just days. We're so sure Krill Omega 50 Plus will work for you. We'll even send you a free bottle to put to the test. The debate is over. It's not fish oil or krill oil. It's both. And now it's free. Just pay $4.95 for shipping and claim your free bottle. Call now.
800-834-4690. 800-834-4690. That's 800-834-4690.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. That's 800-915-9658.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
We do appreciate you being right there, watching, listening, however you may be listening to us via streaming on Biz Talk Radio, your local radio station, Facebook, AM 1240. Later on today, AM 740 Los Angeles, 35 minutes after the hour. The topic, the discussion this morning, obviously Tiger John fruit trees with Tom Spellman, someone who knows what they're talking about, and been talking about the fact that we've got kind of an early spring going on here, warm temperatures.
Yeah, we were talking before the break about watering. And Tom had mentioned that normally we wouldn't be watering until April, but because we've had a lack of water here in our region, that he's actually had to irrigate his trees, I think it was 5 times, since December. And it'll probably just continue for us. We might have a wet April. We never know.
I hope so.
But at the same time, we have to get these trees growing. And there's things besides the standard irrigation that people don't consider when it comes to fruit trees. And Tom, because these trees, they have some pretty deep roots, so it's not a matter of just the little bit of water you get it from the surface, but the water table underneath the trees is also a big impact, where there's just a built-up reservoir under the ground, and as less and less rain happens, that reservoir goes away, right?
Oh, absolutely, and that's something we always need to consider. When we're irrigating a lawn, we're irrigating just 3 or 4 or 6 inches deep. When you're irrigating a tree, you should be irrigating to about at least 18 inches, if not 24 or 36 inches deep. So, they do have roots that go much deeper than any shallow-rooted plant, and we definitely need to compensate for that. So, the 15-minute irrigation cycle isn't really going to do anything for your fruit trees or other large trees in your landscape. So a slow, deep soaking is important, and you need to make sure that your system is not allowing for any runoff. So if there's runoff, you need to rechannel that. Water in California at this point is a precious resource, and we just can't afford to waste any of it.
Yeah, and aside from the health of the tree, the stability and the strength of the tree is important to get that deep watering too, because if you just do shallow watering, the roots are more towards the surface, they're not as deep, and later on when we have a big storm or maybe the tree is growing on a side of a slope, it could just fall over, right? If it has a weak root system that hasn't been properly rooted into the ground.
And I've seen more and more of that this year. I think we've had more Santa Ana winds this year in Southern California than we've had in a while. And I have had several emails and seen through some of the agricultural customers that we have up in the Central Valley that they are losing trees this year to wind damage. So, even though it's a deciduous tree and it's fairly well manicured, it's not like it's a giant oak or a sycamore or eucalyptus that's 50 feet high. It's a low managed tree, but if the root system is weak and the tree gets heavy to one side or another, it's not uncommon for a good strong wind to push them over.
Another thing that people don't always stop and think about is that when a tree's under stress, it's more likely to be attacked by insects, especially borers.
Oh, so true, so true. The proper management, or we always like to say best management practices for any type of plant material should always be recognized, and fruit trees are no exception. So, irrigating properly, feeding properly, structuring that plant, properly so that it can hold a balanced fruit load over the tree. Those are all things that are extremely important to the overall health of the tree, and a system that's well managed, that's well irrigated and well fed, not overwatered, not too much nitrogen, but a good balanced fertilizer that will help roots and the development of fruiting and flowering wood. That always makes the tree healthier. So it does absolutely make it more resistant to bacterial issues, fungal issues, and insect issues. So it's just like us, If our system is healthy, we're more resistant to colds and flus and any type of diseases, where a tree's right along the same lines. A weak tree is much more susceptible to any detrimental issues.
Now, you mentioned fertilizing. We're getting into the springtime. You usually hold off on fertilizing your deciduous trees and fruit trees until you're in the spring, right? You don't want to push out growth too early. So when should we start thinking about fertilizing our stone fruits now?
Well, this is the time. Definitely in the Southwest, we want to feed early. We want to kind of look at it as breakfast. And, I want my breakfast before I really get active. I want it to be working in my system. But, the key thing to consider on feeding fruit trees is once a tree becomes the manageable size that you've chosen, at that point, nitrogen is not near as important as it was when that tree was young. So we want to make sure that we're feeding for the right purposes. And if we want flowers, which will give us fruit, and we want that root stability, we need to feed with fertilizers that are higher in phosphorus and potash, maybe have some trace elements like zinc, iron, and manganese. And I'm partial to the humic acid-based type fertilizers, and there's dozens of them out there now. So, the key is if you want good fruit and you want good root stability, take away the high nitrogen and start to feed with the higher phosphorus and potash. Where a lot of the fertilizers out there, nitrogen is the highest number in the bag. I'm looking for something where nitrogen is maybe 25% of the guaranteed analysis on what the phosphorus and potash is. So a 3-12-12 is kind of my optimum fertilizer balance for fruit production and the development of fruiting and flowering wood.
Hey, Tom, we got an email question from a listener for you, and she says, our 6 stone fruit trees are low chill, but since the winter in Southern California has been dry and warm, is that going to greatly affect her fruit production?
Well, that's a good question. And, we're doing lots of research on that, as we speak. We have trials in place that are looking at actually determining whether varieties that are rated at 500 chill hours are going to produce in an area where they get 100 or less. I mean, when you look at Southern California this year and you calculate the hours we've had above 70 and, subtract those from the hours that we've had between 32 and 45 between November and now, we're negative chill. We didn't develop any chill in California this year.
Yeah.
So, in a normal year, we're going to get anywhere from, depending on where you are, from 150 to 450 or 500 hours. This year, pretty much everywhere in Southern California is negative hours. So we know that fruit trees are going to produce even with the negative chill hours, but again, it's a matter of best management practices to try and establish those to adapt to our newer, lower chill conditions. And we've seen it. We've done it. I think I've described my apple trial to you guys at Irvine, where I have all these high chill apple varieties, producing in a basically, zero chill environment. So we can get them to adapt, but we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing for the system of the tree itself. So again, those low nitrogen fertilizers really come into play on that.
Hey, I'm looking at the computer, Tom, from, I guess a caller called into our phone screener. Joan has a question about saving her trees in case of a cold front, or I guess she's talking about cold weather all of a sudden hitting her fruit trees.
Okay. So basically, what we want to consider is how cold is it going to be? If we have a freeze that's 31 degrees for 4 hours, at the end of February, that's probably not going to be very harmful. If we have one of our Siberian Express fingers that comes down from Alaska and brings us 22 degrees for 18 hours, then we're in big trouble. But this late in the season, that's pretty rare. So pretty easy to protect trees this late in the season. If they're subtropicals, citrus or avocados that are young in the ground, or mangoes or papayas or something like that, then a simple 3 or 4 post structure around it and just, throwing some sort of a cover over the top is normally always enough to protect against our late season frost in Southern California.
Hey, Tom, quickly going back to the negative chill hours that we've had, if a tree goes ahead and flowers, it's going to fruit, right? The the negative chill doesn't affect the setting of the flowers, does it? I mean, once the flowers have opened. We've got to take a quick break, so maybe if you could think about that a little bit, and when we come back, you can let us know.
And again, questions at 855-424-9825. Also questions on Facebook, obviously, and John at GardenAmerica.com. We're going to come back and wrap things up with Tom Spellman. Fruit trees, the weather. What's the weather like where you are? We're going to continue this right here. Bryan, Maine. John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, thank you for tuning in to the Garden America radio show.
Do you have insects on your roses? Do you have borers damaging your trees and shrubs due to stress or the drought? This is Tiger Palafox with Garden America Radio. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench is a great product that will give you season-long protection against many insects. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench can act as a preventer or a curative for insects that suck, chew, or bore on your plants. This may be the easiest product to use. Simply measure, mix in a bucket, and pour around the base of the tree. One application can last up to a full year. Protect your trees with Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench. Find it at your local independent nursery or fertilome.com.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, SmartFares, so you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner. Stop those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1769. 855-325-1769. That's 855-325-1769.
If you're one of the millions of Americans who can't work because of a serious injury or illness, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. It doesn't matter if you've applied before and the government has said no. Let the experienced attorneys at Bill Gordon & Associates help you get the Social Security disability you deserve. Their team of attorneys have been fighting for benefits for people just like you for over 20 years. And best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. There are many conditions that make you eligible, including some you may not even be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call Bill Gordon & Associates today for your free, no-obligation consultation. See if you qualify for the Social Security benefits you need and deserve. 800-470-4453. 800-470-4453. That's 800-470-4453.
Have you written a book and want to get it published? Then call Page Publishing at 800-557-6095 immediately. That's 800-557-6095. Page Publishing is looking for authors of all types of books. And unlike most publishers, Page Publishing will take the time to review each and every book submitted to them and give you their feedback. If they like what they read, they'll get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, the Apple iTunes Store, Barnes & Noble, and other outlets. They handle everything: editing, cover design, copyright protection, printing, publicity, and distribution. So if you've written a novel, children's book, cookbook, inspirational work, poetry, or a biography and want to get it published, then you need to call Page Publishing and do it immediately. Call 800-557-6095 now for your free author submission kit. Again, for your free author submission kit, call 800-557-6095. That's 800-557-6095. Your road to fame and fortune could very well start with this simple phone call. Call Page Publishing at 800-557-6095 for your free author submission kit.
Do you have an old car sitting in your driveway? How would you like to learn a hassle-free way to get rid of it, help kids in need, and get a great tax donation in the process? It's real easy. One simple free call to our car donation hotline is all it takes. Call the Neshama Foundation at 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. We'll come pick your car up for free and give you a tax donation for the full value of the car, running or not. The value of your unwanted car will go to help kids in need. It's fast and easy. Just call us and your car will be gone and on its way to helping children in 48 hours. And you get a nice tax deduction. Call the Neshama Foundation now to get rid of your car, help kids, and get a tax write-off. Call 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. That's 800-721-6723.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
And, of course, besides John at gardenamerica.com and 855-424-9825, questions, comments on Facebook. We're going to get to you, Dale, and a couple of other people, but it is our final segment here on Garden America in terms of hour number 1. Hour 2 coming up 6 minutes after. We'll wrap things up with Tom Spellman, Tiger.
Yeah, we had just left Tom.
And John?
Well, I was just going to say we had just left Tom in ready to answer a question.
Yes.
And we had to go into the break. So, Tom, we'll let you finish with that answer.
Well, as we were talking about, what happens under these low chill conditions and late frost and things like that, I think, again, I really want to emphasize that the main consideration is keep your trees low and manageable so that you can get to them. If you need to do some work, if you need to do some thinning, if you need to throw a cover over the trees, there's no reason to have a 20-foot apple tree anymore. It just becomes unmanageable, and 90% of the fruit ends up going to waste anyway. So by growing these low managed structures, by feeding properly with a low nitrogen fertilizer that isn't pushing a lot of growth and a lot of structure, we make the systems more stable and more manageable so that they can take a little bit of these harsh conditions, if we have a late frost. And when we're considering what our East Coast friends are looking at, their late frost is going to be probably in late April or early May. So, we're looking at a couple of 3 months down the road before they really have to deal with things like that, where on the West Coast we're dealing with it right now at the middle of February.
Now you look at me now?
Yeah.
No, geez, John. Thank you very much.
They can see you,
Well, no.
They're watching you.
He's taken over my job, and then now he's just like, oh, now Tiger, go
Throw
ahead.
it to Tiger.
Yeah.
And wrap it up, Tiger.
Yeah. Hey, so Tom, just to kind of follow up with what we've been discussing here with the fruit trees, wherever you're at, when we want to have a deciduous fruit tree crop, we need to consider good watering practices, good thinning practices and structure, fertilizing with low nitrogen fertilizers to keep the trees healthy and strong. One of the questions that I always get when it comes to fruit trees, though, is when they're growing, when the fruit is developing on the tree, is there anything besides thinning that we have to consider while that's happening? Because that's months and months of growth. Is there anything that we need to watch out for during that time of year?
Well, you certainly want to watch out for any spring or early summer issues, bacterial spot, powdery mildew, peach leaf curl on peaches and nectarines, early damage from aphid will curl up the leaves on plums and apricots. So, we should always be paying attention to our trees. I always like to use the line, spend some time with your trees. If you go out there once a week or a couple of times a week, and you walk through your planting and you take a look at things, you walk around the tree, if there's an issue that's pending, you're going to see it. You know, if a branch is too heavy and you need to do some fruit thinning, or if you pick up an insect issue, you know, it gives you an opportunity to correct those before they really become a severe problem. So the best way to keep ahead of things like that is just to make sure that you're out there spending a little time in your landscape. And let's face it, you know, we all love to do that. You know, I look forward to getting home every day so I can get out into my landscape and walk around a little bit and eat some fresh fruit and, you know, pick some greens to use in a salad or something like that. It's part of my daily routine. So I can see these things all the time, but a lot of people may only spend a day every couple of weeks out there. And if that's all you're doing, you're going to have problems keeping up with some of these issues because they'll become severe and much more difficult to control before you can get a handle on them. So, you know, my favorite line is, if you want to know what's going on in your garden, spend some time with your trees.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Tom. Also, great information on Dave Wilson's website. I see on their Facebook, too, people are asking them questions about their trees, posting pictures. They respond back to people very quickly on that as well. So if you're looking for more information, look for Dave Wilson Trees or go to their Facebook. Thank you very much, Tom. Have a good rest of the week and have a good holiday. You get Monday off?
Oh, no such thing as Monday off.
Okay.
All right. Well,
thank you, guys.
it.
Always
Take care.
Thank you, Tom. I am taking Monday off.
Nice.
Absolutely. One of my rare times off. Were you not able to put their link on our Facebook page?
I'll put it right now.
Okay.
It's just DaveWilson.com.
Wilson.com, but of course for those on Facebook, we make it even simpler. Let's see, GardenAmerica.com, we talked about some of the things that we're selling, and you said the yellow geraniums are selling real well?
The yellow geraniums are selling really well. That's called First Yellow Improved.
Okay.
It's the improved version of the First Yellow geranium that just came out a few years ago.
It's like laundry detergent, new and improved.
Exactly right. But there's very little time left. I gave a talk to the Point Loma Garden Club last week, and I had a couple people come up to me afterwards asking about our trip to England this July.
We've got a few spaces available.
Yeah, but you've got to go quickly. Take a look. Just go to GardenAmerica.com, and you'll see the Hampton Court Flower Show, which we're going to it's the highlight of our trip.
And it's on our homepage. There's not much clicking involved.
Right, but you can follow the links, and it'll give you a day-by-day itinerary plus the cost of that trip.
Mm-hmm.
But we're almost sold out, so if you want to come with us, we'd hate to leave you behind.
It's in July, 1st of July. So what a great experience. This is not going to be your typical trip that you'd book through AAA or one of the other travel agencies. This is tailor-made for Garden America.
And I think we mentioned last week that the two tour guides that are going to be joining us are both garden writers in England. So they're going to allow us into some private gardens that the public would normally not get to see.
And they know of what they speak, or what they will speak.
They do. And then if they don't, we've got you, Tiger, and myself that'll be there.
I think it was funny. Where were we in Italy a year or so ago? And I think you answered some questions, John. People were asking you questions about some of the things that we were seeing. So we're counting on you again, which is why we like to have you in the back of the line.
You know, I was thinking the last time I went to, we don't even have time for this story.
Hey, but you know what? This is a great tease for next hour. Save that thought. We're going to come back, and John's going to open up the hour with another one of his stories at 6 minutes after. So thank you so much. Those of you listening on AM 1240, again, you can go to Facebook Live right now, catch our show.
We'll try to answer those questions when we
Biz
come
Talk
back
Radio.
too.
And again, also the replay today starting at 2 o'clock in Los Angeles, AM 740. We are coming back 6 minutes after.
The
opinions you hear on Biz Talk Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of this station, Biz Talk Radio, its management, or advertisers. The information on Biz Talk Radio does not constitute a recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or service. If you have any questions about Biz Talk Radio, contact us at 817-274-1609 or at biztalkradio.com. Biz Talk Radio.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King. Special Counsel Robert Mueller has accused 13 Russians of an elaborate plot to disrupt the 2016 presidential election, charging them with running a huge but hidden social media trolling campaign aimed at helping President Trump become president. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein spoke on Friday.
This indictment serves as a reminder that people are not always who they appear to be on the internet. The indictment alleges that the Russian conspirators want to promote discord in the United States and undermine public confidence in democracy. We must not allow them to succeed.
The indictment also said the Russians paid for 2 rallies in the same city, one opposing the president, called "Trump is Not My President," the other opposing Hillary Clinton, showing her in a prison uniform. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Hi everyone, Wayne Alaroot. Let's talk about your health. There's no question you need omega-3s, but which form should you take? Fish oil or krill oil? Nutritionists have debated this for years, but luckily there's a new solution to satisfy everyone. It's called Krill Omega 50 Plus from our friends at Purity Products. I take it and I love it because it combines ultra-pure fish oil for your heart and krill oil for your joints together in just one tiny pill. It's so powerful it can promote your cardiovascular health in ways your doctor will love. And if that wasn't enough, it can also boost your joint comfort in just 7 days. So you will feel better, guaranteed. Purity is so sure Krill Omega 50 Plus will work for you, they want to send you a free bottle to put it to the test. The debate is over. It's not fish oil or krill oil, it's both, and now it's free. Just pay a little shipping and claim your free bottle. Call now, 1-800-399-6392. That's 800-399-6392. Call now, 800-399-6392.
4 pet food companies are recalling some of their products this week after federal officials received complaints of potential salmonella poisoning. The FDA said it investigated complaints of illness and death from Darwin's Natural and Zoologic's pet foods. Last week, the FDA announced 3 other recalls, including Smokehouse Pet Products and Roz for Paws of Minneapolis. Infected dogs usually have fever and diarrhea. A West Virginia man has pleaded guilty to fraud for his attempt to sell paintings stolen from a Boston art museum, according to the Justice Department. Todd Andrew Desper, 48, pleaded guilty in federal court in Boston to 4 counts of wire fraud and attempted wire fraud. The 13 paintings that were stolen from the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum were offered up on Craigslist. He asked for $5 million and said that the Rembrandt painting would be sent in return. This is USA Radio News.
In theaters now, from PureFlix.
Samson, chosen by the living God.
A hero will rise.
He has the strength of a god. I saw it with my own eyes. My name is Samson, and you will face the wrath of God.
Samson. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Now playing. For tickets and information, go to samson.movie.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions is ordering an immediate review of how the FBI responds to warnings about potential mass killers. John Clemens reports.
The FBI has admitted there was no follow-up on a tip received on January 5th on the public access line from a caller close to Parkland, Florida shooter Nicholas Cruz. In a statement from the FBI National Press Office, it was disclosed the information was not given to the Miami field office, where Robert Lasky is special agent in charge.
The FBI has determined that protocol was not followed. The information was not provided to the Miami field office, and no further investigation was conducted at that time.
I'm John Clemens.
Germany's foreign minister is asking the United States to step up its participation in transatlantic security. Luke Vargas reports.
Ursula von der Leyen told the Munich Security Conference Friday that, quote, transatlantic burden sharing cannot consist of a model under which some are responsible for the sharp end of the stick, while others deal with humanitarian measures and reconstruction. Von der Leyen's complaint that certain German allies have rolled back spending on democracy and the UN comes days after President Trump's proposed budget spelled out steep cuts at the State Department, the United Nations, and USAID. But von der Leyen did sketch out a compromise, saying Germany would increase its military spending and encourage others in Europe to do so in exchange for the U.S. remaining diplomatically engaged. Luke Vargas, New York.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
There's no question you need omega-3s. But which form should you take? Fish oil or krill oil? Scientists have debated this for years. Luckily, there's a new solution to satisfy everyone. It's called Krill Omega 50 Plus. It combines ultra-pure fish oil and joint-soothing krill oil together in just one tiny pill. It's so powerful, it can promote the health of your heart and your arteries. And if that wasn't enough, it can also boost your joint comfort in just days. We're so sure Krill Omega 50 Plus will work for you. We'll even send you a free bottle to put to the test. The debate is over. It's not fish oil or krill oil. It's both. And now it's free. Just pay $4.95 for shipping and claim your free bottle. Call now.
800-834-4690. 800-834-4690. That's 800-834-4690.
Welcome to the Garden America radio show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do in the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or send us your questions and comments to john@gardenamerica.com. Now, here's Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on Biz Talk Radio and the Garden America Radio Network.
Hey there, welcome to Hour Number 2. Welcome, Facebook viewers, those on Biz Talk Radio, Garden America Hour 2, along with Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. I'm Bryan, Maine. A few ways to get to us with questions, comments, and Dale, yes, we're going to talk poppies. Be patient. 855-424-9825. Questions on Facebook. GardenAmerica.com. Want to say hi to Mike Seitz and J.D. Lees. If you're still watching us on Facebook, these guys have known me for a long time, and they have to put up with watching me on Facebook now, every now and then. But we are back for Hour Number 2. Hope you gained a lot of information that first hour with Tom Spellman, talking about fruit trees. And Tiger mentioned, and I think he's right, just about everyone has an interest in some kind of a fruit tree and proper propagation and what to do this time of the year. I'm hoping we get some more rain here in San Diego, at least a little bit, before we get into summer.
That would be nice.
You know, it's not so bad that, well, it's bad we don't have rain, but the rain we have had has been immediately followed by Santa Ana winds to dry everything up.
And the rain was just more or less spitting. It wasn't really anything that would soak in. Enough to get your car dirty, and then a Santa Ana wind.
We basically have had one day of rain all year.
We have.
And then last year is when we had all the rain, right? We were setting records.
Yeah. Well, this is La Nina.
Okay, so Dale's got I guess a comment about his poppies.
Well, he said that he wanted to update us on his poppy seeds. He said he planted some outside and inside, and he said the outside ones germinated, and the inside ones did not. So he's wondering if the sugar plum poppy germinate in cooler weather because the plants look great outside. And he's absolutely right. They do germinate better in cold weather. That's why you never plant poppy seeds during the summer.
Right.
Because if
They
it's
need the
warm,
chill, right?
the seeds will just sit there. Have you ever seen the sugar plum poppy?
I've seen sugar plum fairies, but not poppies.
Well, you need to Google sugar plum poppy because it's a fringed poppy. The petals are all fringed. Really unusual looking.
I think I would like poppies.
In a dock, you would. Yeah, there's so many different kinds of poppies.
You don't have poppies. And I'm surprised.
Do I have poppies? I don't know.
I don't think you do.
No, I used to take California poppy seeds and throw them across the street.
Just so they would just.
So they would, so that they would come up, and then I'd get to see them without having them on.
I mean,
my
you
property.
actually just threw them across the street like that. Just throw them.
Yeah,
I did that last weekend across the canyon from my house. So now when I look over the canyon, hopefully I'm gonna just have a big flower field of poppies and Asclepias on the other side.
Not as athletic as Tiger. I don't think I could throw him across the canyon.
Well, I didn't throw him across. I walked over to the other side.
He walked over, he dropped him. It's a little more dramatic than it really is.
Can you imagine trying to throw a California poppy seed any distance?
Yeah, especially if there's a wind.
Oh.
So anyway, so that's it, Dale. They do like cool weather, and they germinate during cool weather.
And one of the other things I was talking about, because I think the question of poppies came up when you were out of town that one time. And there was a listener that was asking about, and these are the Papaver poppies. And California poppies are similar in their style of growth. But someone was trying to germinate them, and they just weren't being successful. And I said, these poppies are usually kind of a hardy poppy. And they actually come up with more neglect than anything. And I think the biggest mistake people make is they overwater them when they're growing, because they'll start and they'll sprout. And if they keep giving them water, then they turn yellow.
They're going to get root rot.
Then they stunt, and then they die off. And I feel like once it's sprouted,
leave it alone.
You can kind of back off on it, because then I feel people don't overwater it as much. And so they're pretty hardy poppies.
Will poppies give you an indication when they need water? Are they one of those, like impatience and things like that?
They kind of droop?
Yeah.
And not as much as impatience.
I love impatience.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Because
you guys need water?
Yes.
We're
limp.
And within 20 minutes, they're right back again.
Yeah.
That's what you were laughing at when I showed you the picture of my patio.
Yeah.
And you saw those there.
I was laughing
But that's not all impatience. That's sun patience.
Right.
That's what you have.
Yes.
Regular impatience. Do they even grow regular impatience anymore?
Yeah, they do.
Well, the reason
there's that,
right.
What's it called? That disease that's affecting them all and wiping them all out.
Right.
But they are growing some still.
Okay.
I'll tell you what nobody's growing, and I'll tell you what you're not selling: carnations.
Again with the carnations. We talked about this all last spring.
I want carnations.
By Dianthus.
Okay.
Brian,
the only carnation I've had is ice cream.
Nobody wants to put up with the trouble of growing florist carnations.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
Because there's a whole string system that you have to use so that they're held upright. They have long stems, and carnation stems aren't very strong. It's not like a rose stem, you know. They just flop all over the place. So you've got to hold each stem up. It's just not worth it.
Speaking of that, you did cut your roses back, right, a few weeks ago?
What do you mean by that? I've been, ever since the first of the year, I've been cutting them
Okay,
back.
yeah, me too. And I'm already getting new growth and new leaves.
I think I'm about halfway there. Today I'm going to try to cut everything in the front.
You know some advice that you gave that I really didn't like because it takes more time and effort?
What's that?
Is pulling off all the dead leaves.
Oh, you have to.
I know. One by one. Pulling off those leaves. It's just much easier just to clip them.
Well, clip them first.
Yes.
And then go through and pull off whatever's left over. Yeah. But yeah, I noticed on some of the ones that I've not pruned back yet and still have old leaves in San Diego here, I've noticed rust already starting to form.
Because of the cool weather in the morning? Yeah. At night?
Yeah, rust is not as much of a problem during the summer in California.
Sure.
But during the winter, it's really bad.
Did you like the progress of the palms that you gave me and I showed you the picture of this morning?
Yeah, I've got all these weeds coming up around my house that I dig up and give to you.
Yeah. The tiger was teasing me, too. Look at all the stuff he keeps. Stuff I throw away, he keeps.
Yeah.
I take stuff out of the dumpster. I take perfectly good plants out of the dumpster. I can't let it, if it's alive, I'm going to keep it.
We had somebody come over one time pointing to the cracks in the cement. And they said to my wife, because pansies were, Johnny jump-ups were coming up through there and blooming.
Lissum grows.
And they go, even your weeds are flowers.
That's funny. Anyway, questions on Facebook or email John directly at that's john@gardenamerica.com, 855-424-9825 as well on this Saturday. Hope you're having a good weekend and you can enjoy a 3-day weekend, which I will be. I think we're going to take a drive up to Julian on Monday. And see what's happening up there, have a little lunch, and hopefully the weather will be a bit cool so we can enjoy that.
You still get apple cider up there?
Pie.
Apple cider and apple pie?
Yes. Dudley's Bakery.
Did you know that the apples that Johnny Appleseed threw out were for cider?
Well, they didn't have juice back in the day. It was all They would
cider.
ferment everything so that way it didn't go bad.
Isn't one of his trees still someplace alive? Didn't you tell me that?
It's got his initials carved in it. Hey, I wrote an article. Well, I didn't write. Chris Greenwood wrote an article for our newsletter this week called The Nurseryman from Ontario about John Armstrong coming to California from Ontario, Canada, of all places.
How about that, eh?
And moved to, I got that, and moved to Ontario, California for health reasons.
So from the province of Ontario to the community of Ontario, California.
Right, and he opened up nurseries there. And we were talking during the break about how one of the people that used to work for them was Frank Meyer. And Frank Meyer was one of the plant hunters. He made a lot of trips to China during the turn of the last century. And he's the one who discovered the Meyer lemon.
Well, it wasn't the Meyer lemon when he discovered it, but he named it the Meyer lemon, right?
Or somebody named it after him.
Okay.
Right. But he used to work for Armstrong Nurseries.
I didn't. That was interesting. I never knew that.
I thought that was interesting.
Give some dates, though, because you haven't said any dates regarding this. This was something that happened in the 1900s, right?
1902, John, is that right?
Well, yeah, because John Armstrong was born the last year of the Civil War.
Oh, my gosh.
1865.
Wow.
So by the time he moved to California, it was 1889. And then when he got here, he opened up his nursery.
I don't want to say this in a way that's narcissistic, but why haven't you named a rose after yourself?
He hasn't found
why
anything
would I?
of...
Why not? If you propagate a rose or develop something new...
It seems like you'd have to be kind of conceited to name a rose after
yourself.
Well,
then you know what? You do it, then I'll do it. I'll do it for you. I think you deserve that.
You need to start breeding roses because I think you would be really good at it.
I would come up with those kind of checks. That's that's motivation right there.
Do you know that Bill Radler, who developed the knockout rose, is a millionaire?
Just from roses.
Just from knockout roses, and he was breeding them in his basement. I mean, he lives in Milwaukee.
So when people look at his wealth, they go, rose money. This is all rose money right here. Okay.
Well, if he can do it in his basement, you could do it on your patio.
It really did grow on a bush.
That's right. It is break time. Call us, email us, FaceTime. It is Garden America. Welcome to Facebook Live.
It's bare root fruit tree season, and you probably have a million questions. Which fruits will grow well here? What are the tastiest fruits? How do I care for them? The answers? They're just a click away with the informative Fruit Tube videos at DaveWilson.com. That's Dave Wilson Nursery, the nation's largest grower of fruit trees for the backyard garden. They have planting tips, taste test results, and links to nurseries in your area that carry Dave Wilson fruit trees. Your harvest to better health begins at DaveWilson.com.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
National Funding Group has just released $100 million in easy access small business funding to businesses that gross at least $100,000 a year. You can have fast access up to $500,000 in new business capital in as little as 48 hours. Think about the ways you could grow your business if you had up to $500,000 cash infusion. Call a NFG funding expert now. The process is easy. It only takes about 5 minutes. Then our management-owned lending team looks at your application for a fast approval. You can get 100% funded in about 2 days. If you need up to $500,000 in working capital to run your business and you gross at least $100,000 a year, call NFG and apply today. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. That's 800-296-1564.
We paid less for our Craftmatic today than we did 20 years ago. If you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and free information on today's Craftmatic adjustable beds. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Rated #1 by consumers nationwide on ConsumerAffairs.com. Craftmatic beds come in all mattress types, including cool gel memory foam for up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, poor circulation, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. You'll sleep better in a Craftmatic adjustable bed. So if you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and information. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Discover Craftmatic for less, up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand.
Call 1-800-316-5271. That's 1-800-316-5271. 1-800-316-5271. Call now.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who've agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-607-8945. That's 1-800-607-8945. Again, 1-800-607-8945.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America radio show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
We do hope you're having a good Saturday so far. Thank you for tuning in, and I want to welcome everybody listening to the replay this afternoon on AM 740. It is 21 minutes after the hour here. This is Biz Talk Radio, Garden America. Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. Lines are open, 855-424-9825. You want to talk to us directly. Also, John at gardenamerica.com and Facebook Live. Did I see the word blight on Facebook, Tiger?
Yeah, fire blight.
That's never good.
Oh, so bad, right? So
is that Dell?
Yeah, Dell.
Dell Ritchie, okay.
How about fire blight on pear and apple tree? Already got it. So first off, to explain to everyone how you can identify fire blight, and it more or less attacks a lot of deciduous trees, is you'll see one branch or a series of branches on the tree that are basically dead, dried up foliage, but the other parts of the tree more or less look healthy. And what it is it's a disease or virus that's attacking your tree, and it's killing off these infected areas section by section, and it'll spread throughout the whole tree. And now, for the most part, it doesn't always kill entire trees, right, John? I mean, maybe left untouched for years.
Well, eventually it could.
And it's section by section, so can you stop it from translocating itself?
Yeah, so it is kind of like a bloodborne pathogen.
Yeah,
that if
it's
you
a
were
bacteria.
To cut off that section and seal it off.
It's spread by bees. When the trees are flowering, the bees will spread it.
So they'll pollinate and go from one flower to the other and all over the tree,
gathering their nectar and spreading fire blight wherever they go.
But in urban development, it's also spread severely by a tree trimming company that will do like a series of street trees, and one tree has it, and without cleaning their tools effectively in between each other tree, they'll keep spreading it down the street.
From one to another.
And so if you do have fire blight, there's really nothing to spray. There's no magic pill to give it. But as we said, you can cut and remove that section to stop it from going through the rest of the tree or preventing it from flowering so the bees don't continue to spread it. You want to cut it. You want to clean your pruners or your saw or something with Lysol, bleach,
Alcohol?
something that's going to, clean the pruner or the shear. Dispose of that. Don't compost it. Don't leave it on the ground. Dispose of it, and then hopefully that can kind of curb or eventually solve the problem.
Yeah, if you have a branch that's been affected, it looks like somebody took a blowtorch to it, and all the leaves on that one branch will be brown. And as Tiger says, you've got to cut that branch out, but you don't cut it just where it starts turning brown.
You've got to cut it more than that.
You've got to go back into green wood, maybe a foot if you can, and cut it out. But then if you have another branch you're cutting, as Tiger says, you do need to sterilize your cutting equipment, or you're going to be spreading it to another part of the tree.
And by cutting it further, that's to make sure that you get the whole thing by going into the green part.
Right.
Otherwise, you may leave a little bit, then it's going to continue to spread.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like treating some diseases. You don't just treat that area, but some of the area around it.
Right.
Because it might have spread into it.
That's
a rough one.
Any email questions, John?
No, I don't think I do have any email
poor
questions.
John.
I do have a picture from you.
Yes.
That says
we can't share that on air.
That says sent from Bryan's World of Technology.
Thought you'd like that on my phone.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
If speaking of pictures, we do encourage you send us pictures. We'll post them on our Facebook page. John might put them in the newsletter. So whatever's in your backyard, front yard, if you've got something you're proud of, maybe a disease or a malady you want us to look at, maybe there's a bear walking across your
Nobody's going to
backyard.
be proud of a disease or a malady,
Or maybe
Brian.
swimming in your pool, a moose or anything. Send them and send us those pictures, and we will do our best to post them.
I did get a picture from Steve in Simi Valley.
Now, the last time Steve sent us a picture, which we still have on our Facebook page.
About his winter crop of tomatoes.
Yes.
He says, John, I just heard you talk about carnations, and I'll have to say I love growing them.
Thank you, Steve in Simi Valley. I got somebody on my side.
Just for the scent, it's a close second to my Thunbergia grafted gardenia, Steve. You know, I thought when I was saying that it's too much trouble. It's not too much trouble if you enjoy doing it. It's too much trouble for the average person, and they don't sell at a retail level, which is why they're hard to find.
Hey, Steve, why don't you send us a picture of your carnations?
But he did. He did send a picture.
Okay,
you want me to send you a copy of it?
Absolutely.
But, Steve, it doesn't look from the picture that he's growing florist carnations.
Okay.
If I recall, I think Steve brought back seed from Spain?
Yeah, I think he was in Spain, yes.
Or somewhere. And, yeah, I would enjoy growing those, too. And actually, if florist carnations were available, I would probably enjoy growing them, too.
Okay.
If I had the room.
I'm noticing you loosening up a little bit. I appreciate that.
Well, I didn't mean to put the bad mouth on them,
Well, no,
Steve.
but I mean, but they used to be so, you'd see them all the time. And you just something you don't see anymore.
Do you want me to send it to iHeart or where?
You can send it to both. I like it when you copy me on both.
Yeah, but that requires 2 clicks.
bmain22@gmail.com, bmain@iheartmedia.com. And now all of our listening audience. Well, that was a nice pan, Tiger.
You see that?
I saw that. That was very nice.
Your eyes, sorry. Playing.
Or actually, as they say in the business, if you were behind a camera, you dollied back.
Ooh, look at you.
Dollied back. I remember a few things from college. We had to take TV classes too.
You did?
As well, yeah.
Man.
And what we would do is that we would have a project. Okay, let's say it was your turn to come up with a show. So then everybody else in the class would have to take turns doing something.
Doing a job.
A camera, a manager, stage manager, a switcher. And then when it became your turn to come up with a project, you would just do everything else. So you would at least do one thing one time.
All right.
During the class. And I remember
learned a little bit of everything.
All those terms, yeah.
The class I was afraid to take in college was speech.
Really?
I was just petrified of taking a speech class.
Because getting up in front of people is the second worst fear people have, except dying.
Public speaking, yeah.
Public speaking.
Right.
Which you know the old Seinfeld joke, which means if you were speaking in front of somebody and you were giving a eulogy, you'd rather be the one in the casket than up there talking, giving the eulogy.
I never heard that one.
Yeah. That is scary.
I like
But
talking
I don't
in front
mind.
of people. I don't mind it.
Yeah, well, I don't now.
I look at you. Are you kidding?
Now I actually enjoy it, but back then, I remember we had to give a speech about a project. You had, I think it was like 10 minutes or something, and so I did building a terrarium.
And this is college.
That was college.
Okay.
Yeah. And it went okay because, we talked the quote of the week about if you're doing something you like. I enjoy doing that kind of stuff.
And you knew what you were talking about.
And I knew what I was talking about. Now I often speak without knowing what I'm talking about. And I enjoy that too.
But now how prepared do you get? Because I've given some talks at San Diego State a few times, colleges, and I don't prepare. They just say, when we talk about radio and talk about this or that. And I just go and do it.
Well, I usually do PowerPoint,
So you're pretty prepared.
I have to be prepared,
sure.
yeah.
Okay, it is almost 30 minutes after the hour. Facebook viewers, we'd like to see more questions, comments. Also, John at GardenAmerica.com or 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. And Jeremiah will put you in line. It is Saturday afternoon back east. It is Saturday morning in the rest of the country. Along with Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, I'm Bryan Main. We are coming right back.
Blue Star Medicated Ointment gets 5-star reviews from our loyal users for fast relief of the pain and itch of almost any skin irritation.
Blue Star soothes insect bites and fungal infections.
It really works on the summer rashes I get every year.
I had psoriasis on my elbows. Blue Star worked wonders.
Amazing stuff. Smear a bit on and the itch is gone.
Look for the white box with the Blue Star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast, or your money back.
Do you want to take the great shows of Biz Talk Radio wherever you go? Well, now you can with the new Biz Talk Radio app for iPhone and Android devices. Now all the great shows of Biz Talk Radio are with you wherever you go, just an arm's reach away on your smartphone. Download today at the App Store or the Google Play Store and get the brand new Biz Talk Radio app. It's Biz for you wherever you go with the new Biz Talk Radio app.
If you're struggling to pay or haven't been making your student loan payments, listen carefully to this urgent alert. Have you been out of school for 10 or more years and you're still making your student loan payments? Are your student loans past due or even in default? Can't go back to school because of an old student loan problem? Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month, based on what you can afford to pay. One quick 10-minute call could help you solve your student loan problems. So call right now. Not available in all states. Payments may vary based on income.
800-685-0129. 800-685-0129. 800-685-0129. That's 800-685-0129.
If you're suffering from hearing loss, stay tuned for a special offer from the makers of Listen Clear, a revolutionary hearing aid breakthrough designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. Right now, you can try Listen Clear hearing aids absolutely free for 45 days. You can also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear hearing aids are so lightweight and comfortable, you can wear them all day long. They're practically invisible, too, so others won't even notice you're wearing them. And the best part is, you'll be able to hear almost everything, everywhere. So do something about your hearing loss. Call Listen Clear now to get started with your 45-day risk-free hearing aid trial. This special offer won't be available for long, so call Listen Clear now.
800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. We're here 24 hours a day to help. That's 800-716-4650.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
888-785-0618. 888-785-0618. 888-785-0618. That's 888-785-0618.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If you're making the minimum payments, but your balance is just not going down, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it will take years to get out of debt, call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 5 million people with credit card debt. They can consolidate your debts into one lower payment, reduce your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. If you're struggling with credit card debt, the first step is yours. Call Consolidated Credit now. Call 800-350-3241. 800-350-3241. That's 800-350-3241. Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 19, Oregon DM 80031. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission. License number DC 32.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
No doubt about it. 35 minutes after the hour, I say no doubt about it. We ask for questions. Facebook Live, we have a few things to get to. So who wants to go first? Tiger? You want to address something?
I'll take the first question.
Yeah, sure.
So Heidi Ortiz is in Santa Maria, and it is looking like she wants to plant sweet pea seeds, and she's wondering if it's too late. Yes.
Too late.
Yeah, it is too late. I mean,
you know what though?
Is it too warm now or what?
Well, she's in Santa Maria, so it's cooler and closer to the coast. It's possible.
Should she roll the dice?
Well, I was going to say that there are some that are like pot sweet peas, those compact form ones.
Like the knee-highs?
Yeah, and those ones can do pretty well throughout most of the season because usually you kind of cultivate them in a container garden or something like that. But in the flower garden, yeah, I'd say it's still too late.
I think in a normal year, she might have had a chance. But it's been so warm this year, it's just really unusual. Yeah. It doesn't hurt to try, but...
why not? You and I have done things that turned out to be okay when people said we couldn't do it.
Yeah, you've served time for that, right?
Right. but the probation was very short, 3 months.
Yeah. No, I don't see any problem. Being on the coast like that,
it is cool. There's
wind.
It
doesn't hurt.
It's windy.
Give it a try. But normally in Southern California, what you do is you plant them in October, so the root system can get developed during the winter. They don't really grow a lot, but the root system develops, and then they take off when the weather warms up. But again, this was a weird year.
Okay, 50-50 on that. What's the next question in line there?
Well, Lenore says, what's the name of the company that sells something to get rid of little insects growing in the pots on inside plants? She'd appreciate it if we would remind her of that. First of all, I think she's talking about fungus gnat larvae. And those are the little white insects that you see jumping all over when you water your houseplants. They come to the surface.
I've never seen that, nor do I want to.
Yeah, it's not a pretty sight. So Tiger reminded me of something that would take care of it, but also a quick tip would be if you use the fabric softener, Bounce fabric softener, and cut those sheets and lay them on the surface of the plant. It'll take care of them.
And give it a nice smell, too, at the same time.
That's right.
He likes the lemon fresh.
But then you also, Tiger, were talking about a product that also works.
Yeah, the Mosquito Dunk product. So Mosquito Dunk, or they sell also a granular form called Mosquito Bit, is a bacillus. It's a larvicide, and they can use that into the soil, incorporate it into the soil.
You just sprinkle it on the surface.
Exactly. Just sprinkle it on the surface, water it in. Now, I will say, though, one of the easiest ways to get rid of them, though, is don't water so much. Let the soil drain.
Dry in between watering.
Dry out in between watering. And that usually gets rid of them because usually they're only there because it's a very damp environment. And if you can allow the houseplants to dry out, then they'll go away.
Well, the other thing that works for sure is if you put a layer of sand on the pot.
Oh, yeah?
Because the gnats can't lay their eggs in the soil.
Yeah.
And so if you've got maybe half an inch of sand on the top of your, again, not beach sand, because that would have salt in it.
Right.
So you've got to use a washed horticultural sand.
That would be what I would do.
But you would do the sand?
Based upon, the recommendations you've just given.
You wouldn't do the bounce?
I don't think so.
That would be easy.
But the sand kind of adds a little,
a little beachy feel to
a
it.
little something nice to it, Okay, moving down. Who else do we have here for questions?
I'll let John go. The next one is the imposter rose.
Oh, this one, Heidi says, John, I need to get another imposter rose. I do also.
Yeah, when they're hard to find now, or what?
Yeah, you can't find them anywhere.
We used to have them. We couldn't get rid of enough of them.
Yeah. She says, do you happen to know who's carrying it? She lives in Ramona. The only one that grew it was Star Roses, and I don't think they're offering it anymore. Do you know, Tiger?
I have not seen it. You're right. I don't know what happened to that coming off their list, but
the way to tell would be if you went to starroses.com and looked at their catalog, and if the catalog shows imposter, that would mean that some nurseries that carry Star Roses might have it. But I don't believe they do.
We had enough people who were really interested. You'd think, supply and demand, they would still carry it.
I really liked that rose.
Yeah.
I was responsible for naming it and having it introduced when it came out.
You called it the imposter rose?
I did, because Star Roses was never known for having great names on their roses. And I saw this rose in the field, and it looks like a clematis.
Yes.
It's a single rose and has spots all over it, pink with darker spots, or kind of an orangey pink with darker spots, and it really looked pretty. And when I saw it, I asked if they were going to introduce it, and they said yes. And I said, what are you going to call it? And they said, well, we're thinking of calling it the clematis rose. And I said, clematis rose? Why? They said, well, looks like a clematis, and we're thinking, we could market it as, is it really a clematis, or is it really a rose?
And that's when you said it's an imposter.
No, I said, well, what about if you called it the imposter, and then said, is it a rose masquerading as a clematis, or a clematis masquerading as a rose? And they thought that was a good idea, so they named it that.
Well, that's good. Now what characteristics does it have that tells you, now this is really a rose?
Well, it has thorns.
Okay.
And it really is a rose. It's just from a distance. If you were looking at only the flowers,
okay,
it would look like a clematis.
Okay.
So this is really embarrassing.
You have it in your nursery.
I went to Star Roses, and they do have it.
Okay.
And it says, find a local retailer that has it in your area.
Mission Hills Nursery?
It says Mission Hills Nursery. So, as I said before, I don't know what's in our inventory. But if she wants to call the nursery.
But how would you know it's an imposter? It's not your fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I think Tiger's an imposter.
Exactly.
Probably thought Tiger said, we got a lot of clematis this year.
We might have it.
Yeah,
but
before you make a trip to Mission Hills Nursery, give them a call.
Yeah, call them at 619-295-2808. But another nursery that was listed.
For Tiger.
Another nursery that was listed is Niffings, and they usually have a really good selection of roses as well.
Niffings would be closer to her in Ramona.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. So that would be another one that I would possibly give a ring to.
Okay.
Is Niffings Nursery.
So a couple of ideas there.
You know what? Send me an email if you have the imposter, because I want one.
Okay, I'll check.
That's cool.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, at least we know that Star is still growing it. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we breeze through the questions? Who do we have?
No, it's nice that Tiger can use the internet to find out what he carries in his store.
Yeah, really, right? Well, you've got a big inventory. Come on.
So another question, Marianne, I'll say, do you post or announce home garden tours? If so, I'd have one that I'd like you to post. Let me know the best way to get you the information. Great radio show. Thanks. Yes, we do. We share garden tours whenever we hear about them, because it's a fun thing for people to attend no matter where you're at. Great way to get inspiration or ideas for what you're going to do that spring or the following year. Best way to give us the information is John at gardenamerica.com. Send it to his email. we can possibly include it into a newsletter or some kind of posting that we have.
Facebook as well?
Exactly. So please, if you are the Garden Club member and you have a garden tour that you guys are planning, share that information with us. We love to get them and see what's happening out there in the community, because that's good. It's a great way for people to learn about new things going on where they live. So that's good to hear. So Marianne, please share that with us.
Yes.
Got a comment from Kathy in Neyland, California, and she says dryer sheets work with an exclamation point.
Yeah.
So
there you go. And there's another solution.
Yeah, if you want to get rid of the fungus gnat larva and you don't want to go out and buy something, just get a bounce sheet, cut it up, put it around the surface of your soil.
It's funny because a lot of people think with houseplants they don't get bugs because they're inside, but it's they don't realize that, you know, these bugs come from every which way. You know, they think that, oh no, my plant was clean when I brought it home, and so therefore it'll always be clean forever. And you know, the bugs get in there, and then they don't realize that some of this is the life of a bug, is how to preserve itself for when then it can. And I was watching a documentary on this moth in, I want to say it was it's one of the poles. It's either Antarctica or it's the North Pole. And it freezes for like 6 months, but then it emerges and it then goes off and reproduces again. It's amazing.
I don't think it'd be Antarctica.
No,
There's nothing living in Antarctica.
Yeah, but if you go underneath the ice, there's a lot going on.
No wasps under there.
It might have been the North Pole.
We have to take a break, probably just as well. It is almost 46 minutes after the hour. This is the Garden America radio show.
Do you have insects on your roses? Do you have borers damaging your trees and shrubs due to stress or the drought? This is Tiger Palafox with Garden America Radio. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench is a great product that will give you season-long protection against many insects. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench can act as a preventer or a curative for insects that suck, chew, or bore on your plants. This may be the easiest product to use. Simply measure, mix in a bucket, and pour around the base of the tree. One application can last up to a full year. Protect your trees with Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench. Find it at your local independent nursery or fertilome.com.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now, because we're about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-935-0752 now, and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today, and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-935-0752. That's 800-935-0752. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
I live alone and rarely have visitors. So when I slipped and fell in the kitchen last month and couldn't get to a phone, I knew I was in trouble. Help! I could barely move. Help! I tried calling for help, but no one could hear me. As I lay there, I couldn't help but think of my kids and grandkids having to go on without me. I was terrified. It took 8 hours for my neighbor to find me. It could have been the end of me. That's when I knew I needed Life Alert. With just one press of this button, I'm connected to the Life Alert Center, where I can get the help I need, even when I cannot reach a phone. With Life Alert, I'm never alone.
Call 1-800-414-1958 for your free Life Alert brochure. That's 1-800-414-1958. 1-800-414-1958. Call for your free Life Alert brochure today at 1-800-414-1958.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-711-6812 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-711-6812. Again, that's 800-711-6812.
Got an old car? You can donate it, whether it's running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation and save a life. They'll even come and pick it up for free. The United Breast Cancer Foundation has saved hundreds of women's lives through their free or low-cost breast screen exams. But now they need your help. The United Breast Cancer Foundation wants to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And donating your old car, SUV, or truck, whether it's running or not, helps pay for them. Plus, you get a charitable tax deduction. Help the United Breast Cancer Foundation save lives by donating your old car, SUV, or truck. Call now for free pickup. 800-245-0473, 800-245-0473, 800-245-0473. Call right now. That number again is 800-245-0473.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America radio show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
And we are back. It is Garden America here. Final segment, 51 minutes after the hour here. 855-424-9825. John at gardenamerica.com. We'll still take some Facebook questions as well. Anything in the email world, John?
Well, Tiger was telling us just prior to the break about this woolly bear moth in the Arctic. You found out is where it is, right?
I just posted a link on our Facebook, too. It's a really cool moth that can...
Six months of the year it freezes.
Being in the Arctic, it's going to be very cool.
Really neat. I don't know what to say now.
Neato Kino.
That just a quick side here. We had met some people from England one time when I was in my very early 20s, like we were on vacation somewhere, and these people from England came. We were talking to them, and one of my friends, in response to the story that they were saying, "That's really neat," and they just burst out laughing. She goes, "What's so funny?" She goes, "Neat? You mean it's tidy?"
That's really tidy.
It's really tidy. They don't use that expression, apparently. So anyway, sorry to interrupt you, Tiger.
No, that was worth listening to. Kidding?
So, all right, what else do we have on our...
Did we catch up with everything?
There was one more question, and I want to say... just Lenore talking about how her problem with the nest just started and she didn't want it to get worse. And that's a good thing. As we were talking with Tom Spellman this morning, one of the key thing that people need to understand when it comes to gardening is, again, getting out there, being vigilant about inspecting your plants, being proactive in taking care of them.
Yeah, becoming a part of it.
To not allow these problems to get ahead of you, because when they get ahead, it becomes overwhelming. And that's usually when, not that they're bad, but that's usually when you have to start using something more harsh. Maybe an imidacloprid, systemic insecticide to solve a problem. But if you are out there and being and noticing what's going on, you might be able to solve it with a neem oil or something a little bit more mild, a little easier.
Catch the problem before it happens.
Exactly.
So you're saying that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure?
It's exactly what I was saying.
I believe so.
It's exactly what I was saying. Thank
I
you
believe
very much
so.
for summing that up.
You know, we noticed, speaking of that, being diligent, whether you have pets or animals, catching something early. We noticed last night that one of our fish has a little lump on the back between his tail and his midsection. And we looked at it, and then it's bumpy, kind of white, so we did a lot of research on it. And for the most part, it looks like it's nothing to worry about. He's still, same personality, still eating. But the point is, like you mentioned, we're going to keep an eye on it. If he starts to change or things happen, then you take the next step. But it's the same thing with what Tom said, gardening. Don't check on it once a week, twice a week. Things happen and spring up overnight.
Yeah.
So just be diligent. Pay attention in life.
I think you should take your fish to the veterinarian, just to be sure.
Just to say, here, what is this? What is this lump?
There's a
say, well, the lump is nothing, but you needed to keep it in water.
It's a platy that we got when he was about like that. Now he's huge. It's the biggest platy I've ever seen.
There's a veterinarian in the Bay Park area or off Moreno Boulevard, and it's called Exotic. What are birds? Aviaries.
I know exactly
Exotic
what you're talking
Aviaries and Animal Veterinarian.
Yeah.
And they have one of those metal velociraptors on the roof, kind of a thing. And I'm laughing. I'm like, man, what if somebody brought their velociraptor in there to be like, oh, I don't know what's wrong with it,
What's
Doc.
wrong with him? He's only eaten 3 people today. But you're right. They do like lizards. They do birds. They're any place that your regular vet
probably
wouldn't take care of. These people do.
Yeah,
I'm very familiar with it.
Pretty neat. I like that they have all the velociraptor on their roof. I need that in an exotic plant. Doctor.
Velociraptor. That'd be a good name for something else. John is deep in thought on his computer.
Well, somebody sent me a picture and said, do you know the name of this lily? And it looks like an oriental lily, but it's hard to tell from the color the way that it came over.
Well, we did request pictures, so here you go.
Well, I'm showing it to Tiger, but it's just an oriental lily, right? Some variety of oriental lily?
Yeah,
But what particular variety, Marilyn, I can't really tell.
It's a deep blood red is what it looks like to me, right? The color?
Yeah, there's a lot of email sources for lilies. Mainly, most of them come from the Oregon area. And if you just go to their websites and take a look at them, you might be able to figure out what particular one that is.
That looks like a picture that she took or something, right?
Right.
Okay. That's fine because it sounds like she saw it in person and, she could ask. But the hard thing nowadays with those plants, with florists and what they're doing, and you go to some place and you see these plants that have been painted or dyed, and you never know. That it's not even a real variety. It's just made to look like that. And so sometimes they're kind of hard to people be like, oh, I want this flower. It's like, well, that's not a real flower.
Kathy Spreen on Facebook says, we're talking about, using dryer sheets and bounds. She says, now I wonder what's in those dryer sheets.
Spinosad.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, all right, spinosad.
Bacillus is in those dryer sheets.
Dell sent us a picture of his apple tree with the fire blight.
How bad does it look, John?
It looks really bad. I'll show this to Tiger, but it looks bad enough to me to where the tree should probably be removed.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the way down into the base.
That's the problem.
There's
Usually
no getting it back.
Starts with one small branch at a time, and if you catch it then, but...
So your advice is to take the tree out, remove it, get an arborist out there or somebody?
Well,
or just tree removal?
If you could get an arborist to take a look at it, that would help, but...
Looks kind of a young, not super... Is it? I just looked at the brief picture. Was it a young tree, though?
Yeah, it didn't look like a mature tree.
So, I mean, not too much invested into it to...
Yeah.
Not
it's also spread to his neighbor's Bartlett pear tree.
Uh-oh.
So that's not good. There are varieties of pear that are fire blight resistant.
The evergreen. Well, you mean fruiting?
Fruiting pears.
Oh, yeah. I don't know those ones.
If you look, it'll usually rate them from varieties from 1 to 10 and how resistant they are. And I think that Bartlett pears are one of the most contagious, or most susceptible to those.
Hey, guess what time it is, guys? It is it time to wrap the show up? I'm looking at the clock here. The music says that it is.
I can't finish Dell's question.
You can email Dell.
All right, I'll do that.
Hey, thank you so much for the entire crew. I want to thank Jeremiah back at the mothership, keeping us on the air, the entire crew. John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, I'm Bryan Main. Thank you so much for watching us on Facebook Live. We'll do it again next week. Until then, be safe and get growing, America.